Okay, so Manchester City just won the Champions League, meaning they have completed the treble, making them the second Premier League team to ever do that behind the 1999 Manchester United squad. So the big argument now is who's the better team, 1999 Manchester United or the 2023 Manchester City? But before we jump into that, we got a quick word from our sponsor. Okay, so I just got this beautiful football kit from LU Soccer. This thing is a beauty. Beautiful. It's got fantastic quality. It feels good. I love it. I love it. I've been wanting this Mexico kit for a long time now. And so LU Soccer was kind enough to send me one. And here it is. And putting it on, it feels great. It feels really good. It's comfy. It's breathable. The badge and the kit sponsor are great. Like overall, this jersey is phenomenal. So if you guys want to get cheap, really good quality jerseys, check out LU Soccer. I'll have the link in the description. Shout out to them for sending me an awesome kit. Go check it out. I will definitely be getting more kits from them in the future. Okay, so as we jump into these two clubs, I just want you to know there's no bias here because you look right here, see this flag? I'm a Chelsea fan. I hate Manchester United. I hate Manchester City. And so this is coming from an unbiased fan. I don't side with either club, but I want to give my honest opinion on who's better. We're going to look at the strength of the squad, we're going to look at how well they did in competitions, and we're going to determine who was the better team. Okay, let's start off with keepers. So on Manchester United, we got Peter Schmeichel, one of the greatest keepers ever. And then on the Manchester City side, we got Ederson. My personal opinion is Ederson is absolutely overrated. I just think he is. He's got phenomenal distribution. He's not the best shot stopper. He's just got a great defense in front of him. So goalkeeper, Man U takes this one. Peter Schmeichel is way better than Ederson. Okay, let's look at the defense. So for Man U, at center backs, we got Jaap Stam, Ronnie Johnson, Henning Berg, Wes Brown. And then at the fullback positions, we got two of the best in the game, Gary Neville and Dennis Irwin. If you look at the Manchester City side, we have Ruben Diaz, Aymeric Laporte, Nathan Ake, Manuel Akanji, Kyle Walker, John Stones, who was phenomenal and transitioned into that midfield position. We also had João Cancelo. Even though he left in January, he was a huge part of getting them to where they were. Defensively, I think Man City takes it. I don't even think it's close. I think Man City defenders are absolutely better than the Man U defenders. Ruben Diaz is one of the best center backs in the world. Kyle Walker has proven that he's been one of the best right backs in history. People tend to argue that Gary Neville is the best English right back, but we need to consider Kyle Walker and what he's done. So, point to Man City. Midfield is tough because both these teams have an absolutely stacked midfield. Let's look at Man U first. Roy Keane, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes. We've got David Beckham, Nicky Butt, Jesper Blomqvist, one of the best midfield ever. Looking at Man City, we also have one of the best midfields ever as well. Ilkay Gundogan, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden. Absolutely stacked. This one is super tough. I think that Man City has one of the best midfields in the entire world and of this generation. However, Manchester United has some of the legends. David Beckham, Roy Keane, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes. I don't think anyone beats those guys. Those four legends in the game. And I'm sure that a lot of these Man City players will become legends, but right now, there's no way that anyone beats this Man United midfield. I'm going to go point to Man U. Okay, let's look at the attack now. So for Man U, we got Dwight York, Andy Cole, Teddy Sheringham, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This guy. Pretty decent attack, but in my opinion, they are not the strongest. They have really good players. Dwight York and Andy Cole were goal-scoring machines. But at the end of the day, I think Man City might take this one. They have Erling Haaland. That alone beats them all in my opinion. Julian Alvarez. Jack Grealish, who I know is overrated for that 100 mil price tag, but this year has been phenomenal. And then Riyad Mahrez, absolutely underrated. And I don't know why they don't use him more. This attack goes to Man City. So I'm going to go point Man City. So that makes the competition 2-2. Keepers in midfield for Man U, defense and attack for Manchester City. So let's look at the competition they faced and how well they did. So starting with FA Cup, let's look at Manchester United. They took down Middlesbrough, Fulham, Liverpool, and Chelsea in the first 4 rounds, and then moving on to the semifinals where they beat Arsenal. The final was against Newcastle, which they won 2-0. Pretty strong competition for Man U. They took down Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle. Lots of tough competition, and they took them down to win the FA Cup. So now let's look at Manchester City's results. They also beat Chelsea and Arsenal, but then they played Bristol City and Burnley and Sheffield United before taking on Man U in the final. And to be fair, I don't think Man City's competition was as tough as Manchester United. So I'm going to go point to Man U. Premier League results is a little bit tougher because there's 38 matches. But if you look at Man U, they finished with 79 points. Man City finished with 89 points. So that's a 10-point difference. I'm going to go point to Man City for this one. I felt that they were more dominant during the season than Man U was. And so they're going to take this one from me. In the Champions League, looking at the knockout stages, Man U first played Inter Milan, winning 2-0 in the first leg and then drawing 1-1 in the second leg to move on to the semifinals. In the semifinals, they took on Juventus, drawing 1-1 in the first leg. Second leg finished 3-2 with Andy Cole scoring a late game winner and moving on to the final against Bayern Munich. So that final against Bayern Munich is probably the most iconic Champions League final ever. They were down 1-0 before scoring 2 in stoppage time to win the Champions League. Absolutely incredible. That alone could give them the winner, but let's look at Man City real quick. So Man City started off in the round of 16 against Leipzig, and they absolutely dominated that matchup. Drew 1-1 in the first leg, then they won 7-0 to win 8-1 on aggregate score. Absolutely dominant. Looking at the quarterfinals, they took on Bayern Munich, winning 3-0 in the first match and then drawing 1-1 in the second leg, taking a 4-1 aggregate win. Absolutely dominated Bayern Munich as well. And then the semifinals against Real Madrid, 1-1 in the first leg, but then 4-0 in the second leg. 5-1 aggregate. Absolutely dominated Real Madrid, who were the defending champions. And as in the final, we all know they beat Inter 1-0. For me, a lot of those wins weren't as iconic as Manchester United, but they were more dominant. So I have to give that point to Manchester City. So looking at who was a better squad, I think overall Man City has a better squad. Even though Manchester United has a better keeper and a better midfield, Man City still has a great keeper. They have phenomenal defense. They have a phenomenal midfield who would beat anybody else's midfield if it wasn't for this Manchester United one. And they have the best attack in the game, setting records, scoring goals like crazy. They were absolutely dominant. Man U had a better FA Cup run in my opinion, but Man City had a better Premier League run and a better Champions League run. Not more dramatic because no one can take that crown from Man U, but they were way more dominant than Man U was. At the end of the day, I think this Man City treble winning team is better than the Man U treble winning team. Sorry. Both teams were absolutely fantastic and it was a tough one, but I do think Man City is better. If you guys don't agree, please drop a comment below. Tell me what you think. Hit that subscribe button, like the video. It would mean the world to me. And check out LU Soccer one more time. They do a great job with kids. Stay there for the next video. Check out my Instagram. Check out my TikTok if you haven't already. I'm trying to grow on those pages, so your support would mean the world to me. Anyways, love you guys. Bye.